Welcome to Movie Story, where we bring your favorite films to life with thrilling recaps and deep dives. The film starts in 1630 in New England, where an English settler, William, and his family, spouse Catherine, daughter Thomasin, child Caleb, and fraternal twins Mercy and Jonas, are prohibited from a Puritan province over a religious dispute. They then build a farm near a large secluded forest. Now we see that Thomasin is playing peekaboo with Catherine's newly born baby, Samuel, but all of a sudden, Samuel disappears from there, which leaves her very shocked. Then we see that somebody is taking Samuel to the forest, after which we see a naked old woman who sacrifices Samuel. Afterward, she makes an ointment from his blood, which she begins applying all over her body. That lady was a witch, whom we then see fly. Now Caleb comes to William, where William lets him know that they can't look for Samuel any longer. They felt here that a wolf had taken him. Then both of them start going inside the forest to hunt, where they see that no animal was trapped in the trap William had set up, after which they set it up once more. Here Caleb questions whether Samuel's unbaptized soul will arrive at heaven, to which William asks him not to talk about it. Caleb begins contending with him. Then William clears up for him that only God knows who will go to heaven. Afterward, he reveals to Caleb that he exchanged Catherine's valued silver cup for hunting supplies. He asks him not to tell anything regarding this to his mom. Only then do they hear their dog, Fowler, barking. They see a bunny there, and as William is about to shoot it, his weapon misfires, harming his eye. Afterward, Mercy is playing when she tells Thomasin that she is the witch, and she attempts to scare Thomasin and Caleb. Here, she tells them that a witch has taken Samuel, and that she saw her flying in the forest. Now Thomasin begins to frighten her, and says that she is the witch of the wilderness, and that she has signed the book of Satan. She then threatens her that if she tries to tell their mother about it, she will boil and eat her. Now Mercy gets extremely frightened upon hearing this, and runs off from that point. Later, at dinner time, Catherine asks Thomasin about the silver cup, and tells her that it has been missing for quite a while. She suspects her of being responsible for Samuel's disappearance, to which William says that Thomasin did nothing. All of a sudden, they hear their goats, at which Catherine asks Thomasin to head outside and check. Now when Thomasin heads outside, she sees that same rabbit there. Later, Catherine and William are talking around evening time, discussing sending Thomasin away to serve another family, but the kids are listening to everything. After this, we see Caleb in the stable, where he is planning to head off somewhere. However, Thomasin comes there and asks him what he is doing. Caleb tells her to go to sleep, but Thomasin forces him to take her with him by threatening to awaken their parents. After this, we see them going into the forest, where they find a rabbit trapped in the trap. Now they are coming back, talking, when Fowler starts barking, and they see that the same rabbit is sitting in front of them. Seeing this, their horse gets into a panic. Fowler gives chase to the rabbit, and Caleb pursues them. The horse throws Thomasin, knocking her unconscious, and runs away. Then we see Caleb get lost in the woods when he hears Fowler groaning in pain. He then finds his disemboweled body. He discovers a hovel from which the witch, disguised as a beautiful woman, emerges to seduce him. She kisses and embraces Caleb, her arm growing old and withered as she caresses his head. On the other hand, William finds Thomasin and takes her home, where Catherine asks Thomasin why she took Caleb to the woods. Before she tells her anything, William says that he has sold his father's cup. He then tells her that he had taken Caleb to the forest so that he could earn some money by selling animal skins. Hearing this, she gets very angry and starts shouting at him. Next, we see Thomasin in the stable just when she hears some noise from outside and discovers Caleb outside the home, delirious and mysteriously ill. Then they bring him inside and start treating him. The next day, the twins converse in sing-songs with Black Phillip, the family's billy goat, and accuse Thomasin of witchcraft. Thomasin attempts to milk the goat, but she sees that instead of milk, blood is coming out. Seeing this, she gets scared. William later walks in, where Catherine tells him she thinks Caleb is a victim of black magic, but William disagrees and says he will go back to the plantation tomorrow to find a good family for Thomasin and will take Caleb to the doctor. Next, we see that something starts happening to Caleb, and he seems possessed. Then suddenly his mouth closes, which William tries to open, and he vomits up a whole apple with a single bite taken out of it. Seeing this, the children say that Thomasin is a witch and has sold his soul to the devil. Their parents are shocked to hear all this, and Thomasin tries to convince them. After this, William asks them all to pray for Caleb, but the children say that they are unable to remember their prayers. Then Caleb gains consciousness and starts saying strange things, and the children also start suffering from pain. Seeing this, their parents get very upset, and then they start reading prayers. But after a while, Caleb passionately begins proclaiming his love for Christ and dies. Due to his death, all those people go into shock, and the children also become unconscious. Now Catherine blames Thomasin for all this, due to which she leaves there in grief. Then William walks up to her and consoles her, but begins to think that Thomasin is really a witch. He says that he saw she stopped the children's prayers and that Caleb had disappeared with her, and then she found him. Thomasin tries to convince him that she is not a witch, but William forces her to tell the truth. Now Thomasin says that in reality, he and her mother want to get rid of her. She says that he committed the sins and keeps putting all the blame on her, which makes William angry. She says, why doesn't he ask his twins? They keep talking to that goat all day long. She tells him that the goat is the devil and that it has done magic on the farm. William does not believe her words, to which she says that Mercy herself told her that she is the witch of the forest. Now William brings her to the house, where he tells her to tell everything to her mother, to which she reveals that Thomasin and Mercy talk to the devil in the form of a black goat. After this, William seals the children in the goat house, and he tells Thomasin that he will take her to the plantation tomorrow morning. Now Thomasin asks the children if they are both witches, to which they ask her if she is. Then she asks if this goat really talks to both of them, to which they do not say anything. Later, Thomasin overhears William breaking down and confessing to God that he has been prideful and that he made his family leave their village out of stubbornness rather than sincere religious devotion. That night, we see Catherine, who sees Caleb in the house, holding Samuel in his arms. She goes up to him and hugs him. He says that he has brought a book for her. Will she read with him? Then he hands Samuel to her, and she starts breastfeeding him, but it is actually a raven that pecks at her breast. On the other hand, the children awaken to see the witch drinking blood from the nanny goat, which turns to attack the twins. Now the next morning, William wakes up and comes out, where he sees that his stable has been destroyed. The goats had been disemboweled, and an unconscious Thomasin was lying nearby with blood-stained hands. Then Thomasin regains consciousness, and suddenly, someone attacks William. She sees that it is Black Phillip. Now William picks up an axe to kill it, but Black Phillip attacks him again, causing him to hit a pile of wood, and he dies there. Then Thomasin goes to check on him, but just then, Catherine comes there and begins blaming her for the tragedies that have befallen the family. Thomasin tries to convince her that she is her daughter, but Catherine says she is a witch and killed her brothers and father. She also accuses her of seducing William and Caleb. Then, she starts assaulting her physically, but Thomasin attacks her with a billhook in self-defense, which injures her face, and she dies there. Now, on the night, Thomasin hears chiming, After listening to which she goes towards the stable where Black Phillip is standing, and then he goes inside. She follows him inside, where she asks him to talk to her, and then the goat responds with a human voice, asking if she would like to live deliciously in a life of luxury, and materializes into a tall, black-clad man. He then asks her to take off her clothes, which she does. Then he asks her to write her name on a book placed in front of her. After this, we see her going towards the forest. She follows Black Phillip into the forest, where she sees the coven holding a witches' sabbath around a bonfire. She joins them, and then she sees the witches start levitating. Thomasin starts laughing maniacally, and afterward, we see her rising over the trees, and the film closes here. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Movie Story for more amazing movie recaps. Let us know in the comments which movie you'd like us to cover next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.